in terms of mentoring, what is you started the Baptist Church Ministry Network, and you really wanted it, and Pastor Frazier, both of you have expressed to me your desire for this, not just to be a conference alone, not just to be a couple of events, but for it to be a network of pastors that do a lot of things. One of them is mentoring each other, mentoring other pastors. If you need expertise in an area, doing that. Talk a little about your heart about that.
Well, it's like I told you, I had at every step of the way, whether I was dealing with budgets, I didn't know any of that, but God sent me Buddy Mullis. And when I needed to go to 2 services, God sent me John McCall. And when I needed to do the Sunday school, I mean, just one after another, there was God always had a mentor for me, somebody who was willing, who was further down the road and already and ready and willing to give me time.
And most pastors are an expert at something. Everybody's good at something.
And most pastors, I don't think most pastors believe that that's true about themselves.
That's true.
But this is what I believe. I believe every pastor is further down the road than some guy behind them.
That's right.
That's what we teach our Sunday school teachers and our care group leaders in our church is if you're a believer, you always ought to be looking forward and having somebody that's helping you and take the next step in your Christian life. But at the same time, you need to be reaching behind you as well for a person that you're ahead of to help bring them along in their Christian life. That has happened to me every step of the way. I'm a bus kid. I am a bus kid, okay? And all along the way, there have been people who have mentored. David Produce here today. His mom and dad would come the opposite direction from our church and pick 2 little brothers and me up when I was a junior boy and take us to church on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. They didn't run the buses.
Wow.
But they invested in us. There were people that invested in us. And so mentoring, when we started the network, Mike and I were really convinced that every person, not just pastor, but every person in the ministry has something to give. They have an area where they are further along than they used to be, and that there are people behind them who could use their encouragement and their help. And so we designed the network to have that component, and it's a very specific thing. You join the network, you become a member of the network. That gives you access essentially to the database of people who have said, I am willing to be a mentor in these specific areas. And I get calls on a regular basis. I just had a conversation with a brother he happens to be coming through Springfield next week. And he says, I want to sit down with you. I got some questions about some things that we're going through. Well, I don't know that I can help him, but I'm willing to sit down and listen. Right. And
so many guys are in places where they either have staff that they can't talk to because that's what my question's about. That's who my question's about, or they're maybe there's not a lot of biblical balanced Baptists around them. But the neat thing is we've got cell phones and emails and
Skype and everything else. Yeah. I mean, we can.
There's connect. No reason why we can't do this.
We can connect. Yeah. I mean, I've got people on my staff, from my children's ministry folks to my youth ministry, my music folks. I mean, we've got people who all have the desire both ways. Yeah. They have a desire to have somebody that they can communicate with about their ministry, to be enriched in their own ministry. Plus, they have the desire to be, and they are willing to help somebody who's coming along behind them.
One of the things I'm really excited about this particular network is that from the beginning, it didn't start as just an event. We're better together, not just in missions, but even just in ministry. Yeah. And building those relationships and having people to talk to about stuff and to get help from is huge. So thank you for what you guys are doing.
Yeah, historically we started as it was a conference. We were just going to have an annual conference.
Right.
And then from that conference, the need became very obvious that there were people who didn't feel connected to anybody. And our goal is, how do we connect beyond one meeting a year?
Right.
That's really the Baptist Church Ministry Network in a nutshell. That's where it came from.
We have conferences coming up. We've got one coming up in Gulfport, Mississippi,
in March,
and I'm sure we'll be having one in the fall next year. But that, again, it doesn't have to be the only time you get benefit from the network or from this website. If you're on this website and you're like, how can I get more involved? Sign up to be a part of it. You can connect with people on the network to get really good information, to get personalized advice and mentoring from other biblical balanced Baptists that are there. Dad, you're my dad, even if I'm interviewing you. Thanks for talking to me today, and I think God's going to do some great things.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.